Hi, everybody. It's Amy Caroline. Welcome back to a brand new video, and welcome back to haunted travels and spooky stuff and scary stuff and haunted stuff. Welcome back to my channel. So anyway, it is time for another ghost train story. Um um and this takes place in Arkansas, and the town of Crossett, Arkansas. Um in the ta- and the town of Crossett, Arkansas, this takes place in Arkansas, and in Arkansas. Um 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 and this is called the beheaded brakeman of Crossett. This is called the beheaded brakeman of Crossett. So so um um so the beheaded brakeman of Crossett. Here we go, folks. Located in the southeast corner of Arkansas, the town of Crossett grew up around the paper making industry to fuel the processes used to make paper. Factory owners needed a railroad. Eventually, the fate of the town, the paper mills, and the people became entwined with the trains that brought the raw material and transported the finished product to market. The fates of some railroad workers, however, were tied much tighter to those rails, and sometimes those fates turned to misfortune. That would certainly be the case for a brakeman who worked on a train traveling just outside of Crossett. Um, According to the legend, the worker fell on the track and was decapitated. Since then, people have reported seeing a weird light dancing along the tracks. One thing that's really strange about these orbs is that when witnesses start to move towards the light to investigate further, they immediately disappear. Obviously, most people connect the phenomena with that brakeman. Others say that the light um has an even more heartbreaking organ. Um these folks believe that it's not a headless railroad worker haunting Crossett railroad tracks, but his wife, who is carrying a lantern in a vain attempt to find the remains of her husband. From all accounts, she's still looking. His wife is still there trying to look for the remains of her husband, and the these folks believe that it's not a headless railroad worker haunting Crossett railroad tracks, but his wife, who is carrying a lantern in a vain attempt to find the remains of her husband. From all accounts, she's still looking. His wife, his wife, his wife is still trying to find the remains of her husband, um walking the train tracks, um her his wife is trying to search the it is trying to search the train tracks to find her lost husband. It it's not really him that's haunting the tracks. It's her. So and the woman is still there. The woman is still there. The woman is still there haunting the train tracks, but it's not her husband. It's not her husband that's haunting the train track. It's his wife. It's his wife who is carrying a lantern in a vein to find the remains of her husband. From all accounts, she's still looking. Anyway, that is the story of the beheaded brakeman of Crosset. People in Arkansas, people who live in Arkansas still claim to see his wife walking around with a lantern trying to find the remains of her husband. And unfortunately, she's still there, like I said, haunting the train tracks to try to find her husband. And also the headless and also the headless brakeman is also still since then, people have reported seeing a weird light dancing along the tracks. One thing that's really strange about these orbs is that when this start to move toward the others say the light has even more heartbreaking origin. These folks believe that it's not a railroader haunting the Crosset railroad tracks, but his wife, like I've been saying, is. So it's either the brakeman or it's either his wife haunting the train tracks, and he's still there and she's still there too. She is still there. It's still a haunted place. Crosset, Arkansas is still a haunted place, and when you put this on the Travel Channel, please include the beheaded brakeman of Crosset. Please include the beheaded brakeman of Crosset, and please include this episode and this story, okay? Please include the beheaded brakeman of Crosset, and please include the beheaded brakeman of Crosset, okay, when you put this on the Travel Channel, okay? All right? So, I hope you guys enjoyed that story. Now, I am going to do, I'm going to do an example from the previous TV show, Haunted Hotels, and it will give you an example of how Ghost Train should look like on the Travel Channel when you guys put it on there, okay? All right? It's going to give you an example of how Ghost Train should look like on the Travel Channel. You'll see the story going back in time. You'll see people telling their experiences of seeing a ghost and seeing an apparition. And you'll see the ghosts and the apparition appearing on the screen too. So this is going to give you an idea and also an example of how ghost trains should look like on the Travel Channel, please enjoy this. Here's Haunted Hotels.
Staying in old inns or stately homes are sometimes greeted with a ghost story, which can be charming or terrifying, depending on how the spirit moves them, and which room the spectre chooses to haunt. There are hotels in which the supernatural is every day. A hostelry where dead men really do tell tales.
Those eyes, those milky eyes, just kept drawing him in.
A hotel where a phantom's embrace leaves visitors gasping for breath.
It's a spirit that comes from the front and passes right through and leaves them.
And a guest house which is home to a little girl who is 12 years old, forever.
She hates lights. She likes it when it's nice and dark.
Explore another side of the distant past, where ghosts search the night for answers, and departed spirits walk once more. Older cities can be great for weekend breaks. Historic houses, cobblestone streets, comforting reminders of a simpler time. But in a haunted hotel, history really does come alive, and in rather unsettling ways. Nestled among groves of walnut trees, the Snowball Mansion Inn is the pride of Knights Landing, California. According to innkeepers Cheryl and James Furing, in the 1870s, this Victorian Italianate villa was the grandest building in town.
Snowball Mansion is a very elegant lady facing the Sacramento River.
A little more than 100 kilometers northeast of San Francisco, this former family home delights guests with comfort and tradition. Its furnishings taken straight from the Victorian era.
We tried to make a guest feel that they were stepping back in time.
The mansion was built to last, constructed entirely from mud brick.
The mud was taken from the river, and it took 5 years for all the bricks to be made. Even the interior walls are brick.
Walls built to last for centuries. Walls that once muted an anguished cry, that now echoes through time. The haunting story of Snowball Mansion began more than a century ago, in the 1870s, when a businessman called John Snowball built this house for his bride, Lucy.
John and Lucy Snowball were very happy together. They spent a lot of their time in their home and enjoying the grounds, reading in the grove. The sound came from the land.
Before long, the couple was blessed with a daughter. For Lucy, the child was welcome company when John's business took him far from home.
I don't think it was easy for Lucy, and her husband was away on business a lot. So when he returned home, it was a special time for her to spend time with him.
Each time John returned from a trip, Lucy delighted in hearing about his travels. But on one night, this simple pleasure would rob the couple of their greatest joy.
John had just returned from his trip, and Lucy was glad to see him. She went in to spend some time with him after putting the baby down.
Lucy had intended to spend the night in her room next to the nursery, but the long day had taken its toll. She fell asleep beside John instead, listening to stories from his recent trip. Lucy slept peacefully, never dreaming of the dangers this night would hold for her infant daughter.
The walls being brick, they're very well insulated, so noise does not travel in a brick house.
In the morning, Lucy woke up and realized she had slept through the night in a bed far from her daughter's crib.
she immediately ran to check on the baby.
That night, the earthen bricks of their solid, secure home had muffled the cries of their child in the nursery.
That's where she found the baby. And the baby was not breathing.
Their daughter had died during the night.
When Lucy found her child dead, she was devastated and she blamed herself for not being in her room to hear the baby.
Lucy laid her daughter to rest, but her grief stayed with her. John struggled to lift his wife out of her sorrow, but the cheerful young woman he had married was gone.
I don't think Lucy ever forgave herself for losing her child. I think she felt guilty her whole life and went into a deep depression that she really never came out of. She stayed home and became a recluse. Lucy spent a lot of time in the nursery. For weeks, they would find her in there, sitting by the crib.
Though she lived into her 70s, Lucy Snowball took her grief with her to the grave. And according to some, even death has not brought Lucy peace. Ghostly events have led some to see her home in a different light. It seems that ghosts are guests who never leave, troubled spirits never at peace. Many visitors to California's Snowball Mansion Inn believe the spirit of Lucy Snowball still wanders, grieving for the daughter who died in the nursery so long ago.
All the children in Knight's Landing think it's the haunted house.
Even the current owners feel there is more to this mansion than meets the eye.
The oddest feelings is when windows rattle.
It's common for the windows of old houses to rattle in the wind, but at Snowball Mansion, the pattern is most uncommon.
The windows will start rattling one at a time upstairs, and they'll go across the front of the house, down the house, to the front door, and around the side of the house. People that aren't used to it or have never seen it are quite startled by it.
Those who hear Lucy's sad story believe they know the reason for the shuddering windows.
It seems sometimes that Lucy attempts to waken guests so that they can check on their family to prevent maybe another tragedy.
Lucy's warnings can take many forms: rattling doors and windows, smoke detector alarms. They say sometimes she even comes to the front door.
In the early evening.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there. So you see that is an example. That's an example of how Ghost Train should look like on the Travel Channel. You saw how the story went back in time to the 1800s and the 1880s, and did you see of how people were telling their experiences of seeing a ghost and seeing an apparition, and also did you see of how the story went back in time, and did you see of how the ghosts were appearing on the screen like that? Did you see that? Well, that's what Ghost Train has to do. That's what Ghost Train, when you guys put Ghost Train on there, when you guys put Ghost Train on there, that is what it has to look like. That's what it has to look like, and that's what that is what the that is what the beheaded brakeman of Crosset has to do too. Okay, that is what the brakeman of that is what the beheaded brakeman of Crosset has to do too. That is what the beheaded brakeman of Crosset has to do too. Okay, all right. So when Ghost Train gets on the Travel Channel, and when it does that, it's going to be when you guys do that, when you guys put it on there, that is what it's gonna look like. Okay, that's what it's gonna look like. Okay. So Ghost Train has to be filmed sometime. Okay, Ghost Train has to be filmed sometime. It's been a long time. It's been a long time now. So Ghost Train has to be filmed sometime. It's been a long time now. I don't know when it's gonna be, but you people better get to work now. Okay, you people better get to work now. Okay, so listen. When you put Ghost Train on the Travel Channel, please include the beheaded brakeman of Crosset, Arkansas. Okay? All right? And please include the town of Arkansas and the beheaded brakeman of Crosset. Okay? Okay? All right? And let the spirit appear on the screen. Let the story go back in time and stuff like that and so forth. Okay? All right? So, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed that story. Give this video a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel and ring the bell. And I will see you guys later for the next Ghost Train story, okay? Happy haunted travels and happy ghost watching and happy ghost hunting. Bye!